Welcome back to Full Circle with Mwikali, and we are celebrating all the mothers this whole week. So yeah, 8 frames just like that. But you know what, let's just keep the SMSs coming in how you are showing love to your mom this particular season, to a mother this particular season. 111 that is our SMS line. Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. Right now though, let's talk about matters hot, matters love. It's time for Relationship Circle. And I had mentioned at the beginning of the show that we'll be looking at obvious signs that she will never change. Yeah, you know, and they're just signs. You're just like, oh, it's like this, and then as a women, we always like step out and be like, you know what, I will make something happen. I will change him. I will pray. I will fast. I will do whatever it is. Just give it a little bit more time. But what are some of the obvious signs that this person will never change? She or he, okay? Just before you come at me. And having this conversation with us this morning is Benjamin Njatha. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mwikali.
Maybe you can tell us a bit more about yourself, what it is that you do, just before we get into this conversation. We've been waiting with bated breath.
Me too. Yeah, I'm Benjamin Njatha. I'm a businessman. I run a shop called The Man Code. We deal with male apparel and fragrance. And together with my wife, I'm the founder of Merge, which is a forum where we talk about relationships, identity, and money.
Okay.
That's it in a
nutshell.
So
what prompted the start of Merge?
The start of Merge is just that we are so passionate about relationship. We are passionate about people coming to identity, knowing who they really are. And of course, the fact of money can never be overlooked.
That's true.
Money runs everything, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, that leads just straight on into this conversation where
Sure.
we get into relationships and we see some things that we don't really like, we do not stand for, and we would not want them for us. But then somehow we convince ourselves that, you know what, maybe I'll change him. Maybe I'll just be nasty for 2 days, then he will not do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just cry. Maybe. But what are some of the obvious signs that, you know, they will never change?
They will never change. First of all, I don't think we should get into relationship outrightly to change the other person.
That's true.
Yeah. We should accept them for who they are, or if you can't do with who they are, then just walk out of the relationship. So by the time you're getting into the relationship, first of all, you should have it in your heart that these are the bare minimums that I can work with. You know, worst case scenario, you know, in the dating sessions, in the dating period, it's very easy to know that this is ultimately who this person is going to become. If you're very objective and honest, you know, having guided questions, having pointed conversations, and you'll basically establish that this is the person that I'm relating with. So I feel it's very disrespectful if you are getting into a relationship with a person not for themselves, basically for you, because that's how most of us get into relationships, wanting to change somebody. We want to change them because
for what you want.
Yeah, you're looking
so
for.
It's not about them anymore. It's about
it's solely about you,
which is selfish.
And I get it, because relationships are selfish. Let's face it. a lot of the friends that are around us are for our convenience to our level, but we should be level-headed enough to know that there is also an input and a value that I should give in this relationship. And so if we overlook that, I think it's very disrespectful, because you are not with the person for him or for her. You are with them for yourself, and that's why we get into this rut of wanting to change people. Yeah. So one of the first and very, very early signs that these people might not change is that they want their way. Yes, they want their way, and it could be a sign of a narcissistic tendency, or it could be that they are very hyper-choleric, because, you know, cholerics are the 4 personality types in a nutshell: choleric, sanguine, melancholy, and phlegmatic. Among the 4, the cholerics are very self-driven, they are very outgoing, they are very bossy, they live in square countries, they need their things chip-chop, and if they are extremely on the higher side of the choleric personality, then they would want everything to go their way. Such people are very hard to change because they have a resolve. Probably for those that are believers in the Bible would be Paul. You know, Paul always wanted his way.
Yes.
And if you couldn't toe the line, then you exit the relationship. So that's a very fast sign. On the other end, it could be that they have a narcissistic tendency, because we know narcissists have everything revolving around themselves.
Yeah.
So it's very rare that a narcissist would want you to have input. Matter of fact, they will manipulate that ecosystem so much so that at the end of the day, they have their way, they have their say.
So that's the difference between the two, that one will be very manipulative and intentional in making sure that you do not get your way.
Sure.
And the choleric is just a personality.
It's just a personality that you can love, you can learn to live with. And the good thing about these personalities is that they can change a bit given a certain, set of variables, because we are not really ourselves.
Yes.
We are product of the ecosystems that we grow up in, the aspect of nurture and nature. So nurture plays into what we eventually become. So you put a choleric into a very, soft environment, he will tone down you'll tone that down that aspect of being a choleric. Put them around a sanguine, they'll tend to be more outgoing. Put them around a phlegmatic, then they will be more self-absorbed. Put them around other cholerics, then it will be a very competitive environment. So they are actually basically a product of the environment, and that's something you can live with. You can create an environment around the relationship. Hopefully it's leading to a marriage, or you guys staying together. Then you can create that environment where the choleric personality can tend to be more soft and therefore more agreeable, as opposed to a narcissist. For a narcissist, it's very hard to change them, because they always want their way. They will always manipulate the environment to suit them, without giving a hoot in the world what is going on with the rest of you. Wow,
that's one.
Yeah.
Very in-depth. Thank you for that. I hope you guys are taking note. So what's the other sign?
The other sign is that they don't care about whether you leave the relationship or whether you're getting anything out of it. They're the kind of you do you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You do you.
You do you. You're saying, oh, I'm leaving this relationship. You never see things my way. I don't feel like my needs are being met. And they're like, okay, fine. If you feel like walking, you just walk.
That's annoying.
And it's very cold. But you see, again, it's manipulative.
Okay.
Yeah, because they tend to make you feel that me getting out of this relationship is basically me losing. And that's what we all are afraid of. Everybody in a toxic relationship is there because they are afraid of loss. They think by exiting, they will never, ever find, ever in the 3 billion population of the opposite sex, they will never, ever find a person who would fulfill them the way this person is fulfilling them at that moment. So they will still hold on to the toxic person, thinking that, oh man, it's my loss. It's actually my loss. So anybody telling you that, oh, you do you can just walk out, or if you feel like going to your mom's, it's okay. If you want, me, I'm cool. You'll go back. You'll go back and find me here. You see, it's very manipulative, and that shows that they are indifferent. Yeah, they don't care about what's happening with you. They don't care about where this is going for the both of you. So
I think the opposite of that will be someone who will do everything within their power to just make sure that you never leave.
To make sure that you never leave.
That you are always there with them, that they will fight for you just a little bit.
And you see, this is, Mwikali, this is a response to this person who's saying, be it what it may. If you want to go, you go, do you. So the other person would respond in trying now to, change and adjust things, probably give money, do more around the house, do more around, the business, so that they keep this person, they make themselves wanted.
Again, by this guy.
Yeah, by this guy who's...
Oh, this woman.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
Who is indifferent.
I'm really trying.
But usually it's the guys who are saying...
Which is
Zibambe.
Which is true.
Yeah.
And, in going back to this guy, you diminish yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Then you end up doing this so many times, you lose yourself.
Yeah.
And now you are sort of like living in the image of
of the other person.
Yes.
And this is it, because I believe in relationships, we are both, you know, yielding ground until we come to a place where we are agreeable to each other. You know, we are ceding ground so that we come to a common place where we can see eye to eye at some level, and then we are complementing each other in our strengths and weaknesses respectfully. So when you can't come to that place, when you can't come to that place, it means then that your values are not right.
Yeah.
You know, you're not seeing at the same wavelength. I'm not saying that relationships, you look for the person who is like you.
Or
that
agreeable always.
Yes, that's not the thing. The thing is that you are complementing each other. And complementing each other might mean that you're totally different. You know, I'll take an example from my own marriage. My wife is super sanguine. She's the party butterfly. She's always out there, you know. Any amount of money could be spent on pizza and drinks, you know. she's the social animal.
Yes.
I like to be reserved. I'm more melancholic. I like to be quiet, you know, just be in my own world and do my own things in an orderly way. Her is very random, but I see that as a balance to us. You know, I enjoy that beauty of difference, because if it were not so, if I was not more reserved, imagine the two of us being super sanguines. And you know, this plays into money as well, because your personality will detect how you see money. There are also money personalities. So sanguines tend to be more of spenders. You know, males tend to be more of savers. You know, they are not so outgoing with money. They don't splash it around. So you could imagine the two of us being sanguines.
Then that would be a disaster.
Yeah, it would be a disaster.
Okay, that is a lesson to myself and to all of you who are watching this show this morning. We're taking in all your questions. If you're wondering, is this it? He's been doing this for a couple of times, for a couple of years, and I have been trying to talk him out of it. I thought he was going to change. All those kinds of questions, we're going to be answering them after this very short break. 111 444 111. That is our SMS line. Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. We're taking a very short commercial break. We'll be right back with Benjamin. Don't go too far. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mwikali. We're talking about signs that he or she will never change. Now, Benjamin, this is a common one.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
You start dating with this guy, then you come at him cheating, okay? So he does that once and he says, I'm sorry, babe, I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
And then he does it again, and then you're just like, oh, babe, it is the day. Okay, sorry. You know, like.
Yeah.
And then you get this idea of, if I tie him down, if I get pregnant for him, if I get married to him, then boom, ndakuwa nime cancel the spirit of cheating. And then it doesn't end.
Yeah.
You get married now, you have children now, and then still continuing.
Yeah.
Should you have picked this up from the beginning?
From the get-go? Yeah, of course, because for me, I'm for no sex until marriage.
Okay.
So if he's bringing such a conversation, he wants you to, you know, he wants to test the cookie before.
Yeah.
Then know you're setting up yourself for it. Because what that does is that it brings focalism into the question. Focalism is where you exalt one aspect of the relationship more than everything else. And usually it is sex, because you think that if we are good in bed, then this relationship is okay.
It's good. That's all we need.
Yeah, that's all we need.
That's a lie.
It's the biggest lie that all of us, most of the people that are listening probably have gotten into. And I think once you open up that door into sex, then there is no justification that they are cheating. Because which moral authority are you using to tell them that, oh,
okay,
you're cheating on me?
But then they're committed to you. They're just like, we are dating.
It's not. Yeah, you're dating. You're not married.
You're
so
not married.
You should not be having sex.
Okay.
Sorry to say. Yeah, and you know, when you get into that equation of sex, usually it will replicate itself unless you go through a very intentional, you know, restoration process. and you subject yourself to people who will be able to talk to you, because once he gets that excitement of having lied, you know, a lot of these things, it's things we are hiding around.
Yes.
Because I'll speak from a church bias, because that's where I am.
Please.
And if you're having sex before marriage and you are a Christian, then it means that you have to hide it. You know, on Sunday you have to come to church and maybe pray
The
that
guilt, the shame.
Yeah, pray that nobody will pick it up. You know, and then nobody gets to pick it up. And on Monday you're at it again. So it becomes exciting. Now that you're married, the excitement is no longer there because there's nothing to hide. Everything is okay. So the next person that you'll be doing it with is that person in the office or at the business meeting that you're going to, because there's still that excitement of hiding, you know. So it might become a domino effect. Once it starts, it never ends. It'll just keep going and going until probably you subject yourself to proper restoration, to a mentorship, and you begin to see value in this person. So if this person is cheating on you, either the girl or the guy, it's because simply they don't see value in you.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't see value in you enough to make you exclusive, because that's what dating should be. Dating should be a journey towards exclusivity.
Yes.
Once we start this friendship, we get to a point where now I say, hey, now it's me and you. We are in this exclusively. Yes, we'll have friends, but they can't come this far. You know, I won't flirt, I won't sex chat, I won't do all these things, because this that I have with you is exclusive to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you getting that baby or deciding to get married is not a guarantee that now he will be exclusive with you.
Yeah.
So just so you know.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Let's talk about another sign.
Let's talk about, you know, they are jealousy of everybody else around you.
Yeah.
Let me not say jealousy, let me say envious.
Okay.
Because jealousy is a good sign. Jealousy could be a sign that they value you so much. Our God is a jealousy God.
Yes.
He says, don't have any other gods before me because I am jealousy. It means then that there is love, there is value. They are seeing you as, you know, somebody that, you know, is, that exclusivity. They want you for themselves. But when there is envy, then it means there is an insecurity. There is an insecurity that is there. They don't feel really quite there to be able to supply what they need to supply to you. You know, they don't feel like they could love you enough or be with you, you know, enough to guarantee that your eyes will only and your heart will be only for them. All right, so they will tend to, you know, question, oh, who was that you're talking with on the phone, or who is that you're chatting with, or who are you meeting, who are you having coffee with.
Yes.
What was happening in the business meeting? Yeah, you know, what was happening during that camp. So they'll tend to be very overprotective. Could be that, or it could be that they don't want anybody else to see the mess that this is.
Okay.
Whatever the two of you are having, it's too messed up that they want to close out the rest of the world so that it's just only you.
You're isolated.
You're isolated, and once you're isolated, there's no, you know, you can't see sense. Because at times, when we are out there and we're having conversations, you could pick something up. You could pick that this person is toxic because of a conversation that is going on. But once you're closed in, you know, there is no point of reference. There's nothing, you know, to compare in a healthy way with what is going on out there. Okay. So usually you'd be closed in and you'll just be alone. So that's a strategy that they use, and you will know that they will never change. If they demand unquestionable loyalty, you can't have friends, you know, you can't go to that date, you know. Yeah, so in as much as we say dating brings exclusivity, there's that healthy way where you still a productive member of community. Like my wife still goes out on dates with her girls. She can have her friends over. It's okay, it's fine, because they need to talk, they need to be girls. There's something that her friends would supply to her that I may not be able to. See, but if now I cushion her from all that, like I seclude her from all that, then it means that there's something that is amiss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a question here for you.
All right.
I think my baby daddy is a narcissist. Our child is 2 years and 8 months, and he has only seen him once. At the beginning of the year, he came back promising to be the greatest dad, but all he does is plan and cancel play dates. I know he will never change, but how do you teach your heart and brain that? You know, how do you teach your brain and heart that they will never change?
Start seeing value in yourself first.
Okay.
You know, value yourself. Why do you need them to change? Why is it so important to you that they change? Is it something that they are supplying that you feel you cannot get? You know, just by getting into a place where you are seeing yourself correctly and properly, you know? Because we pressure people to change when we feel like, you know, there is this inadequacy that I have that can only be supplied by this person if they become that person. So we want to shift them into this idol that will give us fulfillment, right? We want to create them into an image of what is goals. You know, this is the goals guy, this is the goals girl, you know? So grow some beard, you know,
get some muscles,
get some implants, do this and that.
Yeah,
because
which
we're
is
trying,
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. We are trying to create an idol that will fulfill us. So learn to get fulfillment. And for me, because I'm a Christian, so I'll have this Christian bias that fulfillment, first of all, comes from Jesus Christ, having a relationship with him. Once you're fulfilled in that, he gives you a sense of identity. He gives you a sense of worth. You know, he gives you value. Then from that, you can have proper perspective on anything. Because at the end of the day, a human being might abandon you. You know, it's not a guarantee that even if they change, they will be there for you. They might change to be somebody else. And once they become that somebody else, it means then that they have to move away. So you want this, you know, Hollywood guy or this goals guy that you've created, and once, not knowing that once they become that ideal person that you're envisioning, it means that they will see you differently, and they might actually move away. So them changing is not the most important thing. The most important thing is, how do you see yourself? How do you value yourself? Because if you see value in yourself, then you'll be okay from every heartache.
Okay. Before we get into the next sign that we need to look out for, I'm Julie from LD. My sister cheated in her relationship once and she was forgiven. Right now, she's also in love with someone else and is still dating. Allah. This is the thing that you said, it can never stop. Once you start,
it's going to be like that circle. It's just going to be on and on and on and on. Yeah. So what I advise people is that, because we have a lot of these cases, is that take a break from relationships. Give yourself even an year. Just don't go into relationships. And myself, I've been in that kind of a space. Before I met my wife, I was in a relationship that turned out so toxic. We couldn't see eye to eye. We were great together for ministry, but we were not relational. Again, there's this hoax that, you know, find purpose. If your purpose tie to each other, then you're good. No. That's the biggest lie. The reason why a man and a woman come together to relate is not for purpose. Primarily, it is for companionship. Purpose comes from companionship. You could be good ministers together. She could be that, you know, praise and worship leader, and you're the pastor. She could be that, you know, business mogul, and you are a financer. You know, those things that we think couple up very nicely. You could be great together, but relationally, you are very averse. You know, you can't see eye to eye. And that was the problem that I had, because we met, of course, we met in church circles, because you always meet your spouse, your significant other in the circles where you hang out. You can't meet food.
I was about to give myself an example, but I will not do it. I choose to keep my career together.
So basically,
but I understand what you mean.
Idea.
It's in the circles that you're in that you meet the other person.
Yes. Okay. So that is the hoax, that because they are in this circle, then it's easy for us to relate. But me and her couldn't relate. So when we broke up, I took time. I took time to, you know, just be myself and really look at what do I want? What do I want? Where am I going with relationships? How long do I want to be in this trial and error thing? You know, until I was able to heal internally, to see myself, you know, well, that's when I got, you know, a girl that we could relate fast, and then these other things come into play. Because at times we even get into this oh, he's a marketplace person, I'm also a marketplace person, so we are good together, but not necessarily.
No.
Yeah, you could be a marketplace person, she's a media personality person, and you get along together well. Okay, so the most important thing is that you get along together.
Okay.
So for
the other sign, they're saying that she's cheated before, she's been forgiven, and now she's dating some.
Take a break.
Just take a break.
Take a break. Work on yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. But you see, it's not her who's come out. It's somebody else who's come out on behalf of her. So I hope they take this message to her.
Get the message across.
Yeah. Which might be taken or not. But
yeah. Okay.
You asked the question and we gave you an answer.
Sure.
Do you have any other signs?
Any other sign? Okay. There's the aspect where they like to talk negatively about their exes.
That's a sign.
It's a sign. You realize I told you that I had an ex before I met but I have not talked about her.
Yes, you haven't. You've just said I recognize that I had.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So usually, when we talk negatively about people, is that we want to mask our own inadequacies.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was them. It wasn't me. I was the okay person in that relationship.
Yeah, they did this and that and that and
what they're implying is that I don't need to change. I'm the okay person in this relationship. Because even in the previous one, it didn't work because of them. So there is, of course, relationships don't just not work because of one person. It's both parties. You have, however good I am, probably there's something I contributed.
Yeah.
However good she was, probably there's something she contributed into, the breakup.
Yeah.
So it's, if somebody is just biased in the way they talk about their previous relationships, and also people around them, you know, pride always says I in a way that is self-inflating. I am the good person. When we went out, I paid the bills. When we did this, I took an Uber for us. So it's always like something that is self-inflating. Look out for those signs. Once you find that there's a trace of unnatural ego, there's a sense of pride, there's a tendency to want to glorify self, then know that person won't necessarily change. A person that is keen to change would ask, what do you think? What do you feel? What are the things that I do that annoy you? What do you want me to adjust for us to live together? Because at the end of the day, it's not a must for everybody to really change, but we have to make adjustments for relationships to work.
There's a lot of sacrifice that comes with relationships as well.
Yeah.
Hello, sweet. Just tuned in. Your show is quite educative. That is Duncan from Kisii. Could I get the notes, please?
Yeah, they could go. Can I mention
yes, please.
Our pages? Yes. There's Marge on Facebook.
That is MERGE.
Yes, Marge on Facebook. Then there is a YouTube channel, Marge with the Njathas. Yeah, so there's content as well. That's the two platforms that we are at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because you just came in late kidogo, so easy notes uangalie huko pengine utapata. But kuna mwingine anasema, morning Mwikali, I'm Dora Mulinge from Eldoret, loving the conversation with Pastor Benjamin. I'm learning. I follow him on Facebook. He has deep wisdom. Okay, good stuff. I think I'll go there as well. Mwikali, and where did you go now? Mwikali, see Mwikali. Okay, so I get it. There's a comma there. Mwikali. Wangu tumeka almost 2 years. I read it totally wrong. Almost 2 years now. Yani, he is so careless. Each month anatuma pesa wrong number. Hata jana tao ya kujaza gas ilienda tu hivyo. Tukalala njaa. So I don't know how they. So I don't know. Maybe he's just.
But that's something systemic. You could maybe if it's carelessness around things. You could use an Mpesa app. Yes. Yeah, I have an Mpesa app that checks where the money is going. That would help a lot. Yeah, and it logs every recurrent transaction, if it's internet, if it's the rent. So I'll just have to go to that particular paying bill number. I don't have to enter anything extra. Yeah, so that's something you can work around. Yeah.
Ma unasomewa, muna copy and paste.
Yeah, or do that for him because it's for for the both of you.
I am Wendia. I'm following your Switch episode, Mwikali. What is the best age to date?
Best age to date? Of course, first of all, let's start with the age of consent.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the second thing is that are you able to take responsibility? Say you ended up in a marriage, you ended up with a child. Are you able to be responsible for those scenarios without having to be dependent, overly dependent on people?
Okay.
Because we find people, you get pregnant and then you go back with the child to your mother's house. There's nothing wrong with that. It's your mother, but if it would be better for you if you had waited. You know, you're able to take care of your bills. You're able to make rational decisions.
Okay.
You know, you feel that you're not going into dating to get to exclusively get something out of it. Let me mark my words.
Yes.
It's where you're also going to give. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Wix. 2 weeks to my wedding, I came across a love message from hubby's phone, writing it to another girl. Aki, I forgive him, and we went ahead and wedded. Aki, nilipoingia kwa marriage. That's how wameandika.
Yeah.
Nilipoingia kwa marriage, I get different messages kwa his phone. Akiandikia mademu tofauti. I'm really stressed. What can I do?
Okay. So you ignored the red flag.
Yes, they did. 2 weeks to their wedding.
2 weeks
but
to
then
their
there's
wedding.
also that pressure for, maybe there's never been anything. And then now 2 weeks, everything is paid. You've deposits, wazazi. So you
Postpone.
just like postpone the wedding.
Yeah, postpone the wedding.
Okay.
You know, take time out, talk things out.
Okay.
Because that's what courtship and dating is. It's a time where you're objective, you're very honest, you're level-headed, getting into these conversations that, show you where you're going.
Okay.
So why hide something under the rug?
Just
A rug that you're going to lift later on and find.
well, the rag is gone now.
You see.
There are many messages
Yeah.
flying around.
You see.
So what can she do now?
What can she do now is there's a lot there, because we have to look at what drives him to do that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there needs to be honesty and clarity. These are the things that we would like to deal with probably in
Directly,
person,
in person.
indirectly, because what I can tell now is just very blanket that might not be necessarily
For him.
helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last question for you before you go. Morning, Mwikali. I have a guy who says he loves me and tells his friends that he wants to marry me, but doesn't say it to me. So of late, he has been drinking on a daily basis, and that's one like him. Inashindwa jinsi ya kumuuliza if all is well, and if we agree on meeting, he doesn't show up. Please, the ghosting.
The ghosting. Ghosting. So this is either, for this particular case, it's a self-esteem issue.
Okay.
Because if I really like a girl, you go and tell them.
Yeah.
There's nothing like he's too scared, so I'm helping him along. If he really likes you, he will come and tell you.
That's true.
So there's a self-esteem issue, probably being masked in drinking. And then ghosting means that probably they are very self-absorbed in the way that they feel that nobody could understand them out there.
Yes.
And they will go away to deal with it and then come back, which is not a good sign, because if it's a relationship, then everything
here.
Yeah, everything here, we deal with issues. And at other times it could be, ghosting could be that there is more fun elsewhere. So I take a
go
leave from
there.
you, go there, have fun, and
Then
then
come back to the
then-
sanity.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that sucks.
So
but
it's
it happens.
yeah,
It does.
It's either or the two.
Our time is up.
Yeah.
Imagine, unfortunately. Social media handles again, if there's a personal number business number that you give out to people to get in touch with you as well directly, because the SMSs are many, but our time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So my personal profile, Benjamin Njatha, on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And Maj on Facebook, Maj with the Njathas on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I can give my number.
Okay.
0710 96 2121.
Just see that again.
0710 96 2121. You can just get in touch. It's a business number as well as a ministry number, so anytime.
Asante sana kukuja, Benjamin.
Thank you for having
Looking
me.
forward to our next conversation.
Yeah, of course.
I hope you guys took notes, guys. Yeah, signs that he is definitely never going to change. That is what we were talking about. We're taking a very short commercial break. We will be right back. This is Full